All right, time now for better books on these cooler nights and these miserable rainy days. You might want to find yourself curling up with a really good book.
It's a great day to do that. Lori Fazio from RJ Julia Booksellers is here with a few of her favorite reads for fall.
Yes.
So nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
It feels like we've been apart forever. But
I know, I was just saying that.
Welcome back to Better.
I'm happy to be here. And I have to tell you, it's hard to pick a few of my favorites. There are so many amazing books that come out in the fall.
How much time do you spend reading? Seriously.
I read every day,
Every day.
sure.
Okay.
And I usually have multiple books going at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And then, you know, depending on what I either have to read or what's sort of caught me, I then dive in.
All right, so
nice.
let's get to our first book.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to start with Kate Walbert's book, his favorite. She actually did an event with us recently, about 2 weeks ago. And Kate Walbert is a very, she's a witty writer, a really good writer. She gets to her point really, really quickly. You're so engrossed with her characters. This is your story of, you know, I know it sounds cliche, but the boarding school teacher student.
Oh.
And you're like, okay, well, I've read that before. But Kate brings it to you in a way that you're like, I haven't read that before.
Oh, interesting.
Really?
Yeah, and she starts with this story and then brings it all the way through, and it's a little book, and it's just fantastic. She is just fantastic.
I think the last book I read like that was like Tea and Sympathy.
Oh, could be.
Long
Well, and I said to Kate too, you know, on her way out from the event, I said to her, I know that you're just going on tour for this, but when's the next one coming?
that
That's what she wanted to make you do.
Okay,
Yes,
that's awesome.
beautiful, yeah.
So it's great.
All right, Where the Crawdads Sing.
So Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. This is your, you know, Southern dig in. You get this great character in this little girl who basically ends up raising herself kind of in this little hut in the woods. And, you know, something happens in the town and then you go back and forth in time. And I don't want to give too much away, but
it's a really good
story
read.
of survival and coming of age. And, you know, you definitely feel like the moss dripping, you know, in the woods, and you feel like you're in the swamps, and
that's awesome.
It's great.
Wow.
Yeah, and this character, you just love her. You just love this little girl.
See, it makes me want to read more.
Well, you should.
This is the whole point, right?
You should
I know
be
I
reading
need
more.
to read more.
Yeah. So Sea Prayer by Khalid Hosseini. So he wrote The Kite Runner. He wrote 1,000 Splendid Suns. This is something very, very different. It is actually considered a graphic novel. And what he was inspired by was a picture of a little boy that drowned who was a refugee. And this is a letter, you know, could be from any parent to their child about going through this experience. It is heartwarming, it is touching, it's emotional. There's these beautiful watercolor pictures throughout. And in his proceeds, the author proceeds, are all going to a refugee foundation.
Isn't that wonderful?
It's a beautiful, beautiful book. And, you know, worth owning and just supporting. Fantastic.
That's a great gift to give to.
Yeah,
It
really
is, yeah.
The Mars Room by Rachel Kushner.
So The Mars Room is it goes with our rainy day. It is definitely not the uplifting book. So The Mars Room is actually, it's a strip club. And it is the deep down and dirty. But it's not really about that. It's about this girl who works there, how she got to work there, her story, and she's on her way to prison for something that she's done. But you hear her story and you are rooting for her, and she's also a mom, and you're just rooting because you're like, how could this have happened? And you know how it could have happened.
Right.
But so Rachel Kushner is an amazing author, and she goes right for it. So it is pretty graphic. It's pretty down and dirty.
It's fiction.
It's fiction.
Okay,
but an important book.
Right. Exactly.
You know, because you hear a lot about the law side of things, and yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
All right.
But not uplifting.
But not uplifting. Okay. Grab the box.
Good to know.
Absolutely everything.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about 2 kids' books. So Absolutely Everything is, we get a lot of parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles coming in, and they say, I don't know what to get, you know, my son, my daughter, my niece, my nephew. They're not really a big reader. This is a book, it's a reference book. It has dinosaurs, it has robots, it has history, and it's just chock full of wonderful information where, you know, and they're little chapters so that your child can come in, or the child can go in and read and learn something, but have fun while they're learning it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful book.
Beautiful book. Too.
Yeah.
It really, it's great. And, you know, they might not want to read a fiction story.
Right.
And they might want to not want to sit down and read something from front to cover, but they could break it up.
All right, in a little less than a minute, we have A Heart and a Body in the World by Deb.
Yeah, so
Coletti.
this is a young adult book, and this is about a girl who something has happened in high school, and she decides she's not ready to talk about it, and she's going to run. I mean, literally run. And she's running from the West Coast to the East Coast. Her friends and her family get behind her. They start a Facebook page. They raise money for her, for hotel rooms and things.
Wow.
And she wants to get to DC to tell her story to make things change.
Isn't that incredible?
It's amazing. I read it overnight. It's
Seriously.
fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we love when you come, Lori.
Yeah,
Thank you so
for
much.
having me. Always fun to be here.
us to
Pick
read.
one of these books, and I want a report.
I know, I'm going to,
Book
because
club.
I don't know which to pick, though. They
All
sound
right,
great.
to check out these books and so many more, you can browse online at rjjulia.com. You can also head to their store located on Boston Post Road in Madison.
There's also an RJ Julia bookstore in Middletown, right on Main Street, next to Amato's Toys and Hobby.